SwiftUI relies very heavily on a Swift power feature called opaque return types. You can see them right here whenever you write some view from this body property. This means I'm going to return an object that conforms to the view protocol, but I don't want to say which one. Now, returning some view like this means even though we don't have to know what type of object is going back from our body, the compiler still does. It might sound small, but it has important implications. First, using some view like this is important for performance. SwiftUI has to be able to look at our view layout and say, I understand how they fit together and how they change in the future, so we can correctly update the user interface. If SwiftUI did not have the extra information, it'd be really slow to figure out exactly what changed. It'd probably have to ditch everything after every small change. The second difference is more important because of the way SwiftUI builds its data using modified content. Previously, I showed you this code. We have here a button with a frame and a background, and the action for the button is simply printing a type of self.body, the actual real type, not just some view, what the compiler sees. When we run this back and press the button, it'll tell us the actual internal type of this view. And you'll see when I press on it, we get this long type here. That's the actual type of our view. Now, this view protocol, which we're using the entire time, has an associated type attached to it, which is Swift's way of saying that the view protocol by itself doesn't mean anything. We need to say exactly what kind of view it is. It effectively has got a hole in the protocol, and in a similar way that Swift doesn't let us say, oh yes, this variable is an array, without saying what's in the array. It's a string array, for example. And so we can write code like this. We could say, my body returns some text. That's allowed. That's true. It returns some text. But we cannot say it returns just view. Returning view makes no sense by itself. SwiftUI wants to know what's inside the view. It's got a big hole that has to be filled. On the other hand, when we say returning text, it's fine. We've filled the hole. Swift knows what the view actually will be. It'll be some kind of text. So now let's go back to our code from earlier, this button code. If you want to return this from our body property, what would we write? Now, you could try and figure out the exact combination of modify content, long structs like we have down here, this thing. But that's hideously painful. And the simple truth is we just don't care. That's all internal SwiftUI stuff. In fact, these underscores to frame layout here and background style modifiers, that marks as being internal, not for us to futz around with. And so what SomeView does is let us say, we're going to send back a view. We just are. But I don't want to have to tell you exactly what view. And so the hole for that view will be filled by some kind of real world view object, but we aren't required to write out the exact long type every single time. Now, there are two places where this gets more complicated. Firstly, how does a VStack work? That conforms the view protocol, but how does it fill the what kind of content does it have? If it can have lots of views, how can it fill that hole? And second, what happens if we try and send back two views directly from our body property without wrapping in a stack or similar? To answer the first question first, if you create a VStack with two text views inside, SwiftUI silently creates a special view called a tuple view that contains two views. This has two exactly typed views inside it, say a text and an image, or a text and some more text. So the VStack fills that whole question of what kind of view of this is. It's a tuple view containing two text views. That's its hole filled. If you have three views inside a VStack, again, tuple view containing three views, or four views, or 5 views, or 8 views, or 10 views, it just keeps expanding bigger and bigger and bigger to more and more tuple views. As for the second question, SwiftUI silently applies a special attribute to our body property of all our views called ViewBuilder. ViewBuilder has the effect of silently wrapping multiple views inside one of those tuple view containers automatically. So even though it looks like we're sending back two loose text views, they still combine to one tuple view. This behavior is not magic. If you right-click on the view protocol in Xcode and choose jump to definition, you will see inside the view protocol. Here's that hole, the associated type. And down here is our body property marked at ViewBuilder. This thing is right here marked as having that ViewBuilder work behind the scenes to combine our views into a tuple view automatically. Now, of course, exactly how SwiftUI interprets multiple views, going back without a stack around them, isn't specifically defined anywhere. But as you'll see later on, that's actually helpful.